The Snetterton circuit is based on an old World War II American Air Force base in the county of Norfolk in England. It's very rural and people have been racing there for a long time. The circuit's undergone many different evolutions, but we'll be racing on what's called the 300 layout. So we start here on the start-finish straight, we come down here into this first bend, which is called Riches, down to a hairpin called Wilson. We won't be taking this route, we'll come down here, this is called the infield section, down into a left-hander called Palmer, another left-hander particularly tricky called Agostini, down here a flat-out kink to the left called Hamilton, a tight right-hander called Oggies, very tricky because you think it's ended and it just keeps turning and turning. Then we come down here and we go round this fast right sweeping right-hander called Williams onto the Bentley straight, or the back straight some people call it. Very long straight, as you can see. We come down here under the bridge and then there's a tight left hand and right hand complex. So this is Brundle and Nelson. Then we've got a flat out really strange kink here called Bomb Hole, and then we come to another tricky corner which is called Coram. So we come round this long sweeping right hander, and you can see we've got a sharp left hander called Murray's just here. We have to brake and turn at the same time, and we're coming round this corner pretty fast. The car, as it comes round this corner, is sliding around underneath you, and you have to control it on the throttle. Basically it'll either understeer off the side, or if you lift too quickly it will spin you. So it's quite demanding, quite technically demanding around here. Get the car straightened up as best you can, get on the brakes, take the left-hander, and then try and get as much speed out of the left-hander of Murray's as you can to get you across the start-finish straight again. Let's take a look at my fastest qualification lap. So we're joining the action here, just coming round Coram into that tight left-hander Murray's, and that was good. So that's set me up for a good lap to start. Now we're coming up here and you can see the start-finish line with the gantry over the top. Okay, the next corner, turn 1, Riches, fast right-hander. Just a touch on the brakes just to get the car turned in, and then basically just hammer it around that corner as fast as you can. The next corner is the Wilson hairpin. Hard brake and then try and hold back and turn in late. Okay, run out just where that V is, where the edge of the curb is. That's where you need to aim for your exit. Down here, just a lift, and you see I just briefly touch the brakes to try and get the car to rotate. That's Palmer. Now comes the really tricky corner, Agostini. This is difficult in these cars because the gear ratios aren't ideal. You either scream around it in second or you get bogged down in third. I tried various lines around here, but this one seemed to work for me. Okay, the next corner is the left kink. Hamilton should do it flat out. Let's see what happens. Whoa, lifted. Not so good. I think that came good later. Now this is a really tricky one. Oggies. Stay out left, turn right in, and it keeps going round and round, and it just doesn't seem to stop. Try and carry speed through there so we can get into this corner, which is Williams, onto the back straight, and it's easy to run out wide there and trip the track limit sensor. So long straight, as you can see, and you'll see the bridge ahead. Go under the bridge and then turn left and use this corner a bit as a braking zone. As you can see, I'm holding the brakes. Then it's this sharp right-hander, Nelson. Okay, now it's Bomb Hole. Should take Bomb Hole flat out as well. See what happens. Ooh, no lift. Good. So that one was good. And now we're into this tricky one, Coram, where the car is sliding around. So you just have to control it on the throttle. And particularly you can see I got a kick of oversteer there where I braked into this corner. oh, that wasn't so good, not as good as the previous lap. So I came off the brakes too early, I think, by the looks of things. Okay, coming up here to the start finish straight again. Okay, 2:29.15, so that's I think that's 2 seconds faster than my qualifying time last year. Not bad, but on subsequent laps, I did 3 more laps until the end of the session. I kept seeing 2:28 on the predicted time, and it was definitely there. I just kept messing up at various places, mainly actually Oggies. I would be up and then I'd go round Oggies and then I'd mess up and I'd lose time. If you saw the video of my last race at Thruxton, you'll remember that my front-facing camera failed. Well, I hate to say it, it happened again. So you could see it was okay in qualification. We checked the camera just before we were called to the assembly area and found it had failed again. And so then I put a spare camera in and that failed too. So I just, it's very frustrating. Anyway, let's see what we can make of the, oh, this, by the way, this camera is an Olfi, O-L-F-I camera, really good. This hasn't failed on me at all, so good advert there for them. But let's see what we can see as the race starts. Okay, so here we're coming around Corham again, just about to go round Murray's, all bunched up behind the pace car. The pace car's now pulled in, so we're now making our way to the start finish line, and the leaders will start the race, and you can see we are away. I was a little bit slow there, but not too bad. Now, you may remember from earlier videos that I have terrible starts, and actually I did all right on this one. I mean, I think I lost 1 or 2 places, but it wasn't bad at all. But we do get a bit of unfortunate action in a minute, which you'll see. So we're now gone round Riches and we're coming up to the tight Wilson hairpin. So I stayed on the outside trying to stay out of trouble, because then also that gave me a left-hand line round the left-hander of Palmer. So still looking good. So now we go round Palmer, and now we're heading down to the tricky corner of Agostini. Now I thought I'd pulled over enough to the left to defend, but as we'll see, I hadn't. And you can see Dylan there has shot down the inside of me. I've only seen him last minute. Not only did I clip him, you can see Theo there, I clipped the back of his car and span him round. Did quite a bit of damage to my car, to the front. Luckily I was able to continue racing, but now you can see I have lost. I've gone from P16, I think at this point I'm running P30. So I've lost, 14 places, something like that. Maybe not 14, because it didn't look as though 14 cars went past, were there? But I've lost a lot of places. So from this point on, it basically becomes a recovery drive. But having said all that, so a couple of things. There is the question, should I have... I decided in this race that I was going to really mix it with the guys, and I was going to stay in contention all the way from the start. When I came away from the track, I thought that was a really big mistake. I'm going to go back to how I was doing it, which was hanging back and seeing what people do. But all I'd really done wrong there was I should have been further to the left to defend. If I had defended properly and Dylan hadn't gone down the inside of me, then things probably would have worked out quite well. But let's see how this plays out anyway. This is sometime later, and as you can see, Theo's caught me up. I don't know what was wrong with me at this part of the race. My fastest lap was a 2:34.427, which this is a dry track. I should be doing 2:29s. I don't think it was the damage to the car, although there was quite a bit of damage I don't think it was going that badly, but maybe it was more damage than I thought. But anyway, he's caught me, and now he's going to get me going into the complex, the left-right, the end of the straight, and now there's Connor. So Connor and I are Theo's faster than me anyway, so certainly at the moment he is. I'll get you eventually, Theo. But Connor is slightly faster than me, but I can pretty much fight with him. Again, he's caught me quickly, and eventually he gets me as well. These are the only two people who go past me at this stage of the race. Yeah, it's a complete mystery to me why I was going round so slowly, particularly after the qualification lap. You know, and when I did that 2:29.15, after that I did a 2:29.3 and a 2:29.2, I think it was. So I was there. I was just banging in 2:29. So why on earth am I doing 2:34s? I don't know. It's a mystery. Eventually we had a safety car out, but during the safety car period, it started to rain, as you can see here, and you'll see in a minute it actually starts to really pour down. So things got a bit tricky, and unfortunately there was a rather nasty accident, but we'll see how we get on at the restart. Now, what was a real surprise to me was I'm quite fast in the rain. I don't know why, because I've done no practice in the rain, but looking at my lap times compared to others, I mean, I'm not as fast as the really fast ones, but my lap times were not bad, actually. So that's something to be taken from that. So now we're racing again, and so the first turn is Richie's very fast right-hander. You can hear from the engine noise I've changed down to third, and I'm easing my way round there. Now it all looks good, but you'll see a little twitch in a minute there, and that's because you'll see what happens just in front as we go past. Okay, so that unfortunately was quite a nasty accident, and Neil, another member of the 4040 family, actually, Neil Fox, got slightly hurt there, well, more than slightly hurt, I think, and so best wishes to him, and I hope he recovers soon. Dylan, the other guy who was involved, he was fine, but it was no one's fault, as I understand. It was just Dylan, somebody spun, collected the other car. I'm not quite sure what the full details, but anyway, at this point, although we are supposedly racing, eventually we get a red flag and the race is stopped. Okay, so this is the restart after the red flag period. So what they did was the safety car led us round for 2 laps, and then was it 2 laps or 1? Might have been 1 actually. And then we started racing again. James, who was behind me in the car directly behind, he unfortunately had a problem in that while he was when we were sitting waiting for the red flag to be cleared, his car dropped all its para-assisted steering fluid all over the track, right on Murray's, right on that sharp left-hand corner, which was fun for us who had to run over it, but worse for him in that his car didn't work at all. Eventually the rain stopped and a dry line started to develop, and I started to get a bit more adventurous, gradually increasing my speed and reducing my lap times. But you'll see that it doesn't play out in all parts of the track. So here I've just come out of Bomb Hole. Now I'm going into Coram. Yeah, not good. Luckily I didn't lose any places or anything, but that was a bit stupid, and unfortunately that did cost me a place at the end of the race, which we'll see in a second. It's a really, I think this is all just lack of experience, and I just don't learn as quick as the young guys. They were going faster sooner than me, but they were intelligent enough to realise it didn't pay off in all parts of the track. So if you look at this out the back window now, you can see there's a lot of dry coming up this straight. Unfortunately, the way my mind worked, I think, was, well, I've just spun, I must be going too quickly, and so I slowed up again, which was just a mistake, just a real mistake, and I need more sort of race intelligence not to do that. Anyway, at this point I'd made my way up from 29th at the restart to 19th. So I'd overtaken a few cars. We'd got a few retirements like AJ there on the right hand side you saw. But I think I was going faster in the wet, and also my pit stops were good. I could see I was gapping people in the wet, which was really good. Now at this point in the race I'm doing 2:36s perhaps, and the fast guys are doing 2:27s and 2:28s and 2:29s, which I'm capable of, but you know, and you can see how that's played out here. So this is Lewis. He's gained on me. I saw him coming from a long way back, and I did get a chance to practice defending, which was quite good. But ultimately, he is, you know, I'm pretty vulnerable here. So let's see how this plays out. So I'm making defensive lines, but of course it means he's just closed right up on me. So this is Agostini, and then we'll go around the left-hander, which is Hamilton. Yeah, Lewis is fast anyway. I mean, I'm not trying to, you know, decry his abilities. He's good. Now we're going into Oggies. I've managed to defend against him again, but I'm so far off the ideal line. So look how far, I guess you wouldn't realise, but I'm too far to the right there, which means that I've compromised my line into Williams, which is the bend that takes you onto the back straight, and now I'm really vulnerable because, you know, I don't know, he's just right up behind me. He's able to get a bit of a side draft perhaps, and you can see he's slowly cruising past me. I tried to go for a late break under the bridge, but I realised that it was wet under the bridge offline, so I thought I can't do a real kamikaze here, and so ultimately he got past me, and that demoted me from 19th to 20th, which is where I finished. So a bit sad that that's just to set this in context, that's what, 3 corners before the end of the race. So we're just coming up to the we're going around Coram now. We'll do the left-hander Murray's onto the start-finish straight, and then it will be the checkered flag. So the reason I said about my spin earlier, if I hadn't have spun, I would have been maybe 5 seconds further down the road, and Lewis wouldn't have got me. So that did cost me ultimately, but yeah, it's a bit of a shame. There's the checkered flag. Okay, well, it was very eventful. I don't think that quite comes across in what I've presented here because of this camera thing, but there were lots of people spinning. I overtook a few cars that had spun right in front of me, but there was some real positives for me. I'm faster in the wet than I thought I was, which is good. I've sorted out my pit stops. I did probably the fastest of anyone's pit stops, so I've got my pit stop timer sorted out in my car, so that was really good. That gave me some time, but I've got to get more used to understanding how I maximise the speed on a drying track, because that really cost me. You know, me going round in 2:36s when people are doing 2:29s is just crazy. So yeah, I've got to get to grips with that. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll catch you on the next one.